What's going on, everybody? Afflicted Gamer here, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. So Season 3 and the Summit are here. I wanted to discuss both with all of you, primarily the Summit, but I will touch on Season 3 as well. So if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. It's very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more Division 2 content, and don't forget that you can always follow me over on Twitter, @AfflictedGamer. Season 3, pretty much a copy and paste of Seasons 1 and 2. New targets. They are unlocked by completing missions that we've done a bunch of times in the past, control points, etc. And that's that. We do have a new global event coming, but as for the rest, it's pretty much all the same. If I don't sound overly enthusiastic, it's because I'm honestly not. I've had my fill of those missions and control points, and I just wish there was a different way to unlock the targets. I think the fights with each individual rogue agent, they're for the most part pretty fun. The rewards are pretty lackluster. I wish that they would drop something aside from a named item. To be totally honest, and I've said this in the past, I would be very happy if they would just drop, if we could get the outfit that the rogue agent is wearing. Because for the most part, those outfits are really, really cool looking. And to be honest, I would rather earn the outfit over the high-end name item drop that I get, because at 9.9 times out of 10, I scrap it. So at least it would be something I would actually keep, and I could say, oh yeah, I got this from killing so-and-so, There'd be a reason to do the actual targets. Now I know we get a new skill at the end of the season, but if you really don't want to repeat all the old missions again, if you've had your fill like me, wait for the next season to come around. The target will be on the next season track. You can go kill just the one and get the skill. And that's what I'm going to do this season, because I didn't get the one from last season. I wish that these were more enjoyable. I wish there was more to chase after. At the moment, sadly, there just isn't. In terms of the new weapons and gear, the brand set is okay, in my opinion. The new gear set, Hunter's Fury, I think is pretty good. In terms of the exotic weapons, I'm not going to touch on the high-end ones. I mean, it's a shotgun, you got a sidearm, and I'm not sure if I'm missing another one, but they're nothing crazy and out of this world, that I would say, you guys have to get this. Now, maybe I might change my mind in the future, but from looking at them, nothing special. It's not like it's the glory days or anything like that, the custom P416 named one, for those of you that don't know what glory days is. That's a fantastic weapon. Anyhow, the exotic SMG, the backfire, I think is okay. I'm not a huge fan of weapons that deal damage to the user, so not overly excited for that. The backpack, I think, is really cool. Definitely worth unlocking at rank 90 on the track. And of course, the exotic chest piece from floor 100 here in the Summit. I think they're definitely worth going after. So textiles and keys and things like that that are on the rewards track, they need to change those. They definitely need to change those. I don't feel that those are rewards. I can get those faction keys from the sewers in the game for free. So yeah, they need to change those. Moving on over here to the Summit. As you can see here on the floor that I'm on, if you look to my left, those I guess are supposed to be windows, even though you cannot see out of them. It's the closest thing you have to a window. The Summit, in short, very repetitive, very grindy, and stale. I hate to say this, I really hate to say this, but the Summit, just like the community said, wasn't ready for release. I know the Division 2 really needed to push out new content because it was lacking. There's a lot of other games coming, and they have their hands full with competition. There's a lot of good stuff out there to play. New stuff to play. Now, if you're brand new to the Division, none of this really matters. It doesn't really apply to you. Not that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't really apply to you, because I'm sure you haven't had your fill of the game yet. Where I've been playing this since closed alpha testing. I've played this a lot, and this experience, this Summit, is just not unique enough to keep me coming back. I will finish it once, and I don't think I will come back until they make a lot of changes. For those of you that are saying, wait, you didn't complete it, I got to floor 97. I will finish the final 3 floors that I didn't complete sometime this week. But each floor is pretty much identical to the last. I couldn't tell you the difference between floor 10 and floor 90. Other than sometimes you'll see a donut shack sign. Sometimes you'll see a Christmas tree. Sometimes you'll see a broken fan. There's not much difference from one floor to the next. You get waves of enemies, and as you progress through the summit, they get increasingly more difficult. I know it would be hard to make all 100 floors unique and completely different from the last, but they need to do something to at least make it feel like you are actually on a different floor. And I think windows are a necessity. It doesn't seem like a big thing, but the fact that you can't actually see how high up you are, it makes it feel like you're not in a skyscraper. I feel like I'm in a busted up old warehouse, to be totally honest. That's how I feel about the summit. And the modifiers, the modifiers, cool skills. What demon thought up cool skills and thought, that's going to be fun for players? Everyone I played with over the past 2 days has told me how much they hate the modifiers, myself included, especially cool skills. When you are on floor 80 and above fighting legendary Black Tusk, legendary scaled rogue agents, the last thing you need to want to worry about is cool skills or a lack of ammo. I forget what that modifier is called. There's also one where you have next to no ammo. Why couldn't we get some of the cool modifiers from the Division 1 then? If you can't think of good ones for this sequel here, bring back some of the other ones. Look at the global events we had in the Division 1. The special ammo one, I forget what it's called, or when we had the ability to run and build up a static charge, melee an enemy and knock them flat on their butt, even if they were an elite. Those were fun. They made you feel powerful. They made you want to play. I'm sorry, but the modifiers in this are dreadfully bad, and yeah, they're not fun. There's other bugs and issues too, like look at this fan. I'm sorry, but what? There's floating laptops, lights that aren't even on walls, windows you can't see out of, and then there's these little loot rooms. There's a lock that you have to shoot off the door, and you go in and you'll find a green crate and maybe a box of electronics or whatever. Well, because all of the assets are so reused and it's just cut and paste, copy, after you go through, I think about 30 or 40 floors, after that, when you find one of those rooms and you shoot the lock off and you go into it because, you know, you're technically on a quote-unquote new floor, you would think there would be loot in the boxes. No, there's nothing. There's nothing in the boxes. You don't even get loot when you get to the higher levels, unless you find the key and you open up the main chest for the checkpoint floors. Yeah. And also, by the way, sometimes you can actually, there's these lights on the walls, I guess they're lights, and you can see through them a little bit and see that the assets are just, like there's nothing outside of the summit. You know, you can't see that you're actually in a city or anything like that. Like it's just empty space of nothingness. Yeah, it's really sad actually. So, you know, and one of the other big issues is they need to tune the NPCs. You know, and I know they said that this is playable solo or in a team, but I think solo players are going to be at a massive disadvantage. Again, pushing other players away. You get to the point where, especially when it's the elite Black Tusk, when they lob grenades at you, the stagger and stun effect is so insanely strong, you lose all control over your character, so you're fumbling around exposed to all of the enemy fire around you, and you instantly die. And a lot of the time it's not even in your control, and they send one after the other after the other after the other. It's insane. They need to tone down the enemies, especially the grenades. They're just too much. Like, I'm sorry, but there you are. They're really too much. You know, and the other thing too, I think they could have made the rewards better. Make Summit appealing so that there's a reason to come back. Because I think after a couple of weeks, people are going to realize that there's no reason to play it. There's nothing here that you can't get anywhere else in the game except for that exotic chess piece at the end. You know, what about boss drops from the first game? Barrett's bulletproof vest, Joe Farrow's oxygen mask. We don't have a whole lot of memorable enemies here in the Division 2, but Aaron Keener is one. What if we could fight Keener in here or something, and we get a really cool reward from him? Or we fight Wyvern and we get her kinetic armor. Her kinetic armor, I think it looks really cool, and I think it would be a great addition to the agent arsenal, you know? I would love to have her armor on. Why can't we have things like that again? I don't know. In short, I think the summit needs a lot of work. There needs to be a way to differentiate between what floors 10 and 90. Make it more rewarding. Change up the modifiers to make them enjoyable so that players actually have a reason to want to come back. I want to come back to the game on a regular basis. But the summit, it's just not my reason yet. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see you very soon in the next one.